What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell notification because we are about to dive into some absolutely massive breaking news that is shaking up the entire baseball world right now. I mean, when I woke up this morning and saw these reports flooding my timeline, I literally could not believe what I was seeing. The MLB offseason has been relatively quiet compared to what we've seen in previous years, but folks, that silence just got shattered in the most spectacular way possible. Before we get into the nitty-gritty details of these earth-shattering moves, go ahead and drop a like on this video if you're as hyped as I am about what's happening right now. And listen, I want to hear from you in the comments section. Are you happy about these moves? Are you upset? Do you think these teams are making the right decisions? Let's have that conversation because this is the kind of stuff that baseball fans live for. Alright, let's dive right into this because there is so much to unpack here. So according to multiple sources and reports that are coming out as we speak, Kyle Tucker, the three-time All-Star outfielder from the Houston Astros, is reportedly heading to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, you heard that right. The Dodgers, who already seem to have an unlimited budget and a roster stacked with superstars, are apparently adding yet another elite player to their already loaded lineup. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it had to be a rumor, right? Like there's no way this is actually happening. But the more details that started coming out, the more legitimate this whole thing started to sound. Kyle Tucker is not just any player, guys. We're talking about someone who finished in the top 5 of MVP voting, someone who hit over 30 home runs, drove in over 100 runs, and stole 30 bases in a single season. This is a certified 5-tool superstar we're talking about. The kind of player that every single team in baseball would love to have on their roster. And apparently, the Dodgers have swooped in and made this happen. The financial details haven't been fully disclosed yet, but early reports are suggesting that we're looking at a deal that could be somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 million over 10 years. Now, I know that sounds absolutely insane, but when you look at the market and what top-tier players have been getting lately, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. Think about what this means for the Dodgers lineup. You've already got Mookie Betts, you've got Freddie Freeman, you've got Will Smith behind the plate, and now you're potentially adding Kyle Tucker to that mix? That's absolutely terrifying if you're a pitcher facing that lineup. And you know what the craziest part is? The Dodgers always seem to find a way to make these moves work financially. They've got one of the smartest front offices in baseball. They know how to structure contracts, they know how to defer money, and they're not afraid to spend to win championships. This is a franchise that has made it clear they want to win now, and they want to win big. But here's where things get even more interesting. While the Dodgers are potentially landing Kyle Tucker, there are also reports circulating that Bo Bichette, the dynamic shortstop from the Toronto Blue Jays, is in serious discussions with the New York Mets. And let me tell you, if this happens, the Mets are making a statement that they are all in on competing in the National League East. Bo Bichette is someone who has shown flashes of absolute brilliance. We've seen him hit for average, we've seen him hit for power, and he plays a premium position at shortstop. This is exactly the kind of player that can change the entire complexion of a franchise. Now, the Bichette situation is a little bit different from the Tucker situation because the details are still somewhat murky. Some reports are saying that this could be a trade scenario where the Mets are sending multiple prospects to Toronto in exchange for Bichette. Other reports are suggesting that Bichette could be hitting free agency and the Mets are positioning themselves to be the frontrunners to sign him. Either way, the fact that the Mets are even in this conversation tells you everything you need to know about where Steve Cohen wants this team to be. This is an owner who has made it abundantly clear that he's willing to spend whatever it takes to bring a championship to Queens. Let's talk about what Bo Bichette would bring to the Mets. First of all, they've been searching for stability at the shortstop position for what feels like forever. Having a guy like Bichette who can anchor that position for the next several years would be absolutely huge. And when you think about pairing him with Francisco Lindor on the same infield, assuming Lindor potentially moves to second base or they figure out some kind of defensive alignment, that's an incredibly exciting prospect. These are two players who can impact the game in so many different ways. They can beat you with their bats, they can beat you with their speed, and they bring energy to the clubhouse. The financial aspect of a potential Bichette deal is also really intriguing. If he's hitting the open market, you have to imagine he's looking at something in the range of $200 to $250 million over 8 to 10 years. That's a massive commitment for any franchise, but again, when you're the Mets and you've got an owner like Steve Cohen who has a net worth in the billions, that kind of money is something you can absolutely work with. The Mets have shown they're not afraid to hand out big contracts. We saw what they did with Max Scherzer, we saw what they did with Justin Verlander, and while those deals didn't pan out exactly the way they hoped, it shows that this organization is willing to be aggressive in the pursuit of talent. Now, let's step back for a second and think about what these potential moves mean for the broader landscape of Major League Baseball. If both of these deals go through, we're looking at a significant power shift in both leagues. In the National League, you've got the Dodgers getting even stronger, which is honestly kind of scary for everyone else. They've already won a World Series recently, they've been consistently in the playoffs, and now they're adding another superstar? That's the kind of move that could set them up for another dynasty run. And then you've got the Mets making a huge splash by bringing in Bo Bichette, which would signal that they're serious about competing with the Braves and the Phillies in what is arguably the toughest division in baseball. But what about the teams that are losing these players? Let's talk about Houston for a second. If the Astros are indeed trading or losing Kyle Tucker, that is a massive blow to their championship aspirations. Tucker has been one of their most consistent performers, and losing him would leave a significant hole in their outfield and in the middle of their lineup. Now, the Astros are a smart organization, so you have to imagine that if they're letting Tucker go, they're getting something substantial in return, or they have a plan in place to replace his production. Maybe they're targeting a big name in free agency, maybe they've got some young prospects they're ready to promote, or maybe they're pivoting to a different strategy altogether. But make no mistake, losing a player of Tucker's caliber is never easy, no matter how you slice it. The same goes for Toronto with Bo Bichette. The Blue Jays have been trying to build a contender for years now, and Bichette has been one of the cornerstone pieces of that rebuild. If they're moving on from him, it could signal a shift in their organizational philosophy. Maybe they've decided they need to retool, maybe they're not happy with the direction the team is heading, or maybe they're getting an offer they simply can't refuse. Whatever the case may be, losing Bichette would be a tough pill to swallow for Blue Jays fans who have watched him develop into one of the better young shortstops in the game. One thing that's really interesting about both of these potential moves is the timing. We're right in the heart of the offseason, and typically this is when teams are making their biggest splashes. Free agency is in full swing, the winter meetings are either happening or just wrapped up, and front offices are working around the clock to improve their rosters. The fact that these rumors are breaking now suggests that deals could be imminent. We could literally see official announcements within the next few days or even hours. That's how fast things move in today's MLB landscape. And you know what else is fascinating? The social media reaction to all of this has been absolutely insane. Twitter has been blowing up, Instagram is going crazy, and baseball fans everywhere are weighing in with their opinions. Some people are thrilled, some people are angry, and some people are just in complete shock that these moves might actually be happening. That's what makes the offseason so fun, right? You never know what's going to happen next, and when big news breaks, it creates this collective moment where everyone is talking about baseball and debating the implications of these moves. Let's also think about what this means from a fantasy baseball perspective, because I know a lot of you out there play fantasy. If Kyle Tucker ends up in that Dodgers lineup, his value is going to skyrocket. He's already an elite fantasy asset, but putting him in a lineup where he's going to get better pitches to hit and more RBI opportunities, that's huge. And the same goes for Bo Bichette if he lands with the Mets. Make sure you stay tuned to this channel because I'm going to be bringing you updates as this story develops. As soon as we get official confirmation or any new details emerge, I'll be back with another video breaking it all down for you. And if you haven't already, please Please subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of the latest baseball news and analysis.